A look inside Kabul's biggest opium den.
Hello.
Is a glimpse into a living hell.
No problem, no problem, no problem, no problem.
But what we are seeing is just the tip of Afghanistan's addiction crisis. Out of sight, a narcotic problem so vast it threatens to cripple this country of 25 million people. When I visit the counter-narcotics minister, his estimate of addiction far outstrips the UN's 4-year-old figure of 200,000.
More than 1.2 million people of Afghanistan are addicts.
1.2 million?
1.2 million.
That's a huge number.
That's a very huge number. Every year it is increasing.
Poppies all over here.
At a map on his office wall, Minister Kodai shows the scale of the poppy problem.
This area here that's red, you could almost say this is the Taliban area, because this is where the poppies are.
Yes, exactly.
That's shocking. That's a huge area they have influence over.
6 provinces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He admits widespread corruption thwarts eradication.
We did very little. Due to the weakness of the governors, due to the pressure of the insurgents, due to the pressure of terrorism in the area. We don't have sufficient law enforcement agencies, the police, border security force and other special forces to control this area. So it will take time.
But time is what the country doesn't have. The UN drugs chief fears without fast action, the addiction epidemic threatens to become an AIDS epidemic as the nation's users turn from smoking to shooting up and sharing needles.
The little data which we have at this moment are very alarming and tell us that we should not wait longer. If not, I mean, this country will be saddled with another burden which they just can't afford.
HIV/AIDS.
Exactly.
Limanhu, a Belgian and veteran of counter-narcotics in Asia and the Caribbean, has seen drug epidemics like this before, where a pitifully poor people producing narcotics suddenly turn from manufacturers to consumers, and it worries him.
It's already happening today. I mean, we have seen now that the few HIV cases, and hopefully we can contain the situation, although it is unlikely seen exactly the problems with the health structures.
So right now they're in the process of packing everything up and moving it out.
Exactly, moving there.
Back at the opium den in the old cultural centre, the UN has begun a programme to detox addicts who are willing to get off drugs.
Daily people were dying here, 2, 3, 4, every day, the cold winter, no food for them, no shelter, they were homeless people, So here we dealt with this problem from the humanitarian perspective, not from the addiction perspective, to save lives,
When we visit, they are just moving them out. We watch as the truck offloads at the new clinic, a renovated warehouse.
So this is one of the new rooms that they'll be moving into.
Yes.
It will handle 100 addicts, and it is the biggest in the country. Most provinces offer barely a couple of beds. Some are getting therapy.
This is the hardest part of the treatment in here, the detox. These guys here are going through cold turkey. The man under the blanket is shaking there, and right now they've been given a motivation speech to explain to them this is only temporary, that these feelings will pass. But right now, this is the hardest part of quitting.
They may not know it yet, but these shaven-headed addicts are the lucky ones. The new clinic cost $200,000 to set up, and right now, that's all the money they've got.
So what happens when the money runs out?
We don't know.
That's a big
God
problem.
knows, but there's a big problem. That is the real problem.
Because if you put the addicts in here, then your money runs out, they'll be back on the streets again.
Exactly, they'll be back on the streets.
Without more help and more money, there will be more opium dens, more misery, and the risk of an AIDS epidemic in Afghanistan will grow. Nic Robertson, CNN, Kabul, Afghanistan.